Hi guys, today we're gonna tackle about the ecosystem of the coral reefs brought to you by Group 5 from Best by 1A for the subject of Bio45 General Ecology. So what is a coral reef? So a coral reef is a massive underwater structure made from the skeletons of tiny sea creatures called coral polyps, as you can see in the picture above left. So these polyps live in colonies, secreting calcium carbonate to build their hard exoskeletons. Like building blocks, these skeletons accumulate over centuries, creating a complex and ever-evolving underwater city that provides a haven for countless marine animals. They're often referred to as the rainforest of the seas. Rainforest of the sea because of the incredible biodiversity they support. So what are the requirements for a coral reef to be a coral reef? So the habitat, they found in oceans worldwide with reef building types requiring a shallow sunlit waters for symbiotic algae, specifically the zooxanthellae for photosynthesis. In temperature, they thrive between 23 to 29 degrees Celsius, but can tolerate brief periods up to 40 degrees Celsius, but they're unable to survive below 18 degrees Celsius. In salinity, concentrations typically ranging from 32 to 42 parts per thousand, for optimal health and growth. And reefs, they actually vary in shape and size due to geology and currents. Fringing reefs, barrier reefs, and atolls are common formations. As I said earlier, they are typically found at relatively shallow elevations. Substrate. So this is the foundation of the coral reefs that comprising rock, sand, and rubble. And the dominant flora of the ecosystem are algae and seagrasses, and the dominant fauna would be the corals itself, including fish, invertebrates, sponges, sea stars, clams, and reptiles, the sea turtles.
Now for the coral reef hotspot in the world, I will be mentioning different countries and territories where coral reefs are abundant and flourish up to this day. Coral reefs can be found in tropical destinations around the world, mostly in areas around the equator where the water is warmer. So more than 100 countries have a coral reef within their borders. The world's largest coral reef is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, wherein it stretches over 2,300 kilometers off the coast of the Queensland. So the reef are also prevalent in the Caribbean Sea in the islands of the Bahamas, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands. So Philippines as a mega-diverse country is home to numerous coral reef ecosystems, especially in the places like the Apo Reef Natural Parks and the Tubataha Reef, which is located in the middle of the Sulu Sea. The next would be the coral reef in Indonesia, which is the largest of all coral reefs in terms of square kilometers. The Pacific Island is also prominent with extensive coral reef reserves. So this is the summary of the top 10 most countries with coral reefs, with Indonesia and the Philippines ranked first and third respectively, with most of the Great Barrier Reef in Australia accounted to almost 49,000 kilometers squared, with some countries in the Pacific, Europe, and mostly Asia. For the special adaptation of organisms in the coral reefs, zooxanthellae are tiny, single-celled algae that live in symbiosis with various marine organisms such as corals, jellyfish, gums, and sponges. The zooxanthellae provides oxygen and nutrients to the host through photosynthesis, while the host provide a protected environment and necessary compounds like carbon dioxide and nitrogen for nutrient exchange. So corals use the energy derived from photosynthesis to build their calcium carbonate skeletons, which form the structure of coral reefs. They are also important in the coloration of the coral and their sensitivity to environmental changes such as the fluctuation in water temperature and pollution. For the fauna adaptations, coral polyps as the primary builders of the coral reefs are responsible for the intricate structures of corals. When it comes to the reef fishes, they've evolved to survive in the coral reef environment through their adaptations on their body shapes and structures. And also for the clownfish and some certain species of shrimp, they also form symbiotic relationship with the coral reefs.
So healthy coral reefs are one of the most valuable ecosystems on Earth. They provide billions of dollars of economic and environmental services such as food, coastal protection, and tourism. However, these coral ecosystems face serious threats, mainly from the effects of global climate change, unsustainable fishing, and land-based pollution. So these threats in the coral reefs ecosystems are categorized into two, the local and the global threats. So since most of the coral reefs occur in the shallow water near the shore, they are more particularly vulnerable to the effects of human activities, both the direct exploitation of the reef resources and through the indirect impacts from the adjacent human activities on land and in coastal zone. So the coral reefs face many threats from the local sources. This includes physical damage or destruction from the coastal development, such as in dredging, quarrying, destructive fishing practices and gears, both anchors, groundings, and recreational misuse, such as touching and removing these corals. So this could also be due to the pollution that originates on land that find its way into the coastal waters. So there are many types of and sources of the pollution from the land activities, such as sedimentation from the coastal developments. If these sediments deposited into the reefs can smother the corals and interfere with their ability to feed, grow, and reproduce. This could also be caused by the nutrients such as the nitrogen and phosphorus. Generally, these nutrients are beneficial for marine ecosystems. However, the coral reefs are adapted to low nutrients levels. So an excess to the nutrients can lead to the growth of an algae that could block the sunlight and could consume the oxygen that the coral needs for respiration. This could also be caused by pathogens such as bacteria and parasites. It could also be from toxic substances such as including metals, organic chemicals, pesticides that could be found in industrial discharges, in sunscreens, urban and agricultural runoff, and mining activities, and runoff from landfills. From the trash and microplastics such as plastic bags, bottles, and discarded fishing gears that makes it to its way to the sea, and these could snag on the corals. They could block the sunlight needed for photosynthesis, or they could entangle this coral reef and could kill these organisms, or could create damage to these corals. So next would be overfishing. So overfishing can alter the food web structure and can cause cascading effects such as reducing the numbers of degrading fish that can keep the corals clean from the algal overgrowth. So this will also be caused by the coral harvesting, such as for the aquarium, for creating jewelries, and for just curiosities. And this could lead to harvesting of that specific species, and then causes destruction of the reef habitat and then reducing its biodiversity. So next, let us go through the global threats in the coral reefs ecosystem. So warmer ocean temperatures and changing chemistry are threatening the coral reefs ecosystem worldwide. So as the atmospheric temperature rises, so do the seawater temperatures. So this could stress the corals, leading to coral bleaching because of the loss of the algae that could reveal the white color of the calcium carbonate structure underlying the polyps. So severe and prolonged bleaching can kill these coral colonies, or could also leave them more vulnerable to other threats such as infectious diseases. This threat could also be ocean acidification. So these are caused by the increased carbon dioxide absorption. So carbon dioxide reacts with seawater to form carbonic acid, increasing the ocean acidity, and this acidification reduces the coral growth and reformation, making corals more vulnerable. So additionally, climate impacts like sea level rise, and intense storms could further endanger these delicate ecosystems. So, urgent action is needed to protect these invaluable underwater wonders. So the time to act is now. Together, we can protect these invaluable underwater wonders for generations to come. Thank you.